Hey guys, Destauch here. So today we're going to be talking about Halo Infinite and how I think that they can push the game to be more than just another sequel and reinvigorate the franchise. So what I'd like to start off with first is if you go back to Halo Reach, a lot of things happened with Halo Reach that kind of started the downward spiral of Halo in general. It implemented a lot of controversial mechanics, while pretty good, definitely split the community. Things like armor lock, sprint, even jetpacks, evade. And you can kind of say that that might have been like a testing ground for Bungie's next project, Destiny. But ever since then, even though Halo 4 sales afterward were great, you could attribute that a lot to the fact of, like, you know, the protagonist returning, Master Chief, the continuation of that original arc of the plot. But now we're coming around to Halo Infinite, and I'm kind of worried because I'm thinking they may not push it far enough for it to become not necessarily, it doesn't need to be like the biggest game ever, but just for it to push the industry like it used to. Because, I mean, if we look back at Halo Combat Evolved, that basically revolutionized the industry. And now Halo is kind of in the background. It's still pretty good. Halo 4 has a lot of greatness to it. Halo 5 too. Maybe not necessarily the story, but, you know, there are other aspects of that game that are good. But yeah, let's get to the point of the video. Now there's a lot of rumors that Halo Infinite might actually be open world, and I think that to a varying degree that could actually be a good thing for the game. Specifically just a wider scope of gameplay elements that could be implemented in that. And I don't think that it should be a sprawling open world, kind of like Skyrim or the Fallout games or any open world game, or not even Assassin's Creed. What I think basically is that it should be like a linear open world, kind of like God of War or Gears of War, and it should be able to move through these environments kind of like you did in the original Halo Combat Evolved. Specifically the second mission of that game, Halo, where you're going around the Halo ring rescuing the Marines. I think an expansion of that gameplay style, going around to different parts of the map, completing objectives, could lend itself pretty well to the plot of Halo and to the gameplay. And now let's get into maybe some of the mechanics that I think that could be implemented into such a game, theoretically, if it were to ever be made, or if it's going to be implemented in Halo Infinite. We can look at something like the Scout Warthog. Now, the Scout Warthog has been relatively in the backdrop of many of the Halo games. It was in Halo 3, Halo Reach. I'm not sure if it was in Halo 4. And then in Halo 5 it's in there, but it has a different design. But I think that if you could maybe modify that into a sort of Roach from Witcher or Red Dead Redemption 2 kind of horse, where it's a Warthog, but you have a portable inventory. You could use that as kind of like your mobile hub. And maybe you could upgrade from the Warthog, stuff like that. And, you know, you could traverse this world, kind of like Final Fantasy 15, where it's open but it's linear, and the Warthog is your main form of transportation. And I think there is evidence of progressing through an open world linearly, because we have elements like the Pelican pilot in the second trailer. Just his presence kind of indicates that, like, a Pelican pilot might be rather important. And that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be an open world game, but it does indicate you're going to be moving around a lot, which you always do in a Halo game. But yeah, I don't know. It could be something. Also, that I think that the Covenant, as a species and group of aliens, I think that they shouldn't come back, at least not in the fashion of, you know, like the Storm Covenant from Halo 4 and 5. I believe what should happen there is maybe bring in something like the Banished, which I'm pretty sure they're already doing because they have the action figures. But just continuing a relatively new story element and fleshing that out rather than moving to a new group of characters and faction, it'll just make the whole storytelling process much simpler. And I think that's actually a big issue that Halo 5 had with its main characters, because you had a very bloated cast of that, because not only did you have Master Chief, you had Locke, and then you had your group members, which would be Blue Team and Osiris. And the fact that it has to introduce like 8 or 7 basically new Spartans aside from Buck, maybe, just having to flesh them out. Nobody had enough time to get like their narrative say in anything. They were never fleshed out properly. So I think leading that into the Banished thing, I think that yes, we should continue with the Banished and we should stay away from new villainous characters. Aside from perhaps a new overarching villain, maybe Atriox isn't the main villain anymore. It could be someone, but I think the Banished should return, and I think they are. Then moving on from that, yeah, I just think that Halo Infinite should expand on an open world and retain its cast and try not to get hooked on too many ideas moving forward. So this was Destauch, and I hope you enjoyed the video. I know this is kind of different from what I usually do. I mean, all 300 people that watch me, it's just not that much. But I will be doing more music videos, but I just wanted to branch out and try something new. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and please like, subscribe, dislike if you want, anything, any feedback would be great, just to know like how I can improve. So thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day.